Shalom, shalom. Salakia, lesson had, phone had cut out the lesson, so I'm gonna just pick back up where I left off in Isaiah 19 and 23, I believe. Bringing it back. Isaiah 19 and 23. In that day shall there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria. Okay, and that highway is speaking about deliverance. Okay, deliverance out of captivity by way of those chariots. Real quick, I brought this out already, I think. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. And that change, what's going to cause that change is, those new bodies. The laws being written in our inward parts. The Lord taking that stony heart away and giving us a heart of flesh. Okay? Simultaneously while we're being delivered. While, Lord willing, we are elect, but simultaneously while the election is being delivered on that chariot, they're going to inherit new bodies. Okay? That's how the elect is going to be changed. It says, verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, right? Because that's how fast it's going to be. That's how fast you're going to get the new body. That's how fast you're going to be. 1 minute you're going to be on earth. And then in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and in a millisecond, quicker than a millisecond, you're going to be on the chariot with new bodies. With the laws in your inward parts and in a total, perfect, righteous estate. Okay? And that's what that highway is going to do for the elect. It says, verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Now that last trump, what's going to be happening is you're going to have all-out destruction. You're going to have the missiles touching down, destroying land masses, different land masses. There's going to be an all-out war, a nuclear war going on. So the missiles is going to be touching down. And Yahweh Shah, the angels going to be, getting down, man. Those chariots are going to be doing destruction as well. It says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall all be changed. So even different men in the spiritual realm, great men, the elders in the spiritual realm, they're going to be raised up incorruptible and with new bodies, and they're going to be in them chariots first. They're going to be raised up first. And then everyone else of the elect that's here on earth is going to be caught up with them. All right. So it says, verse 53, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Meaning what? New bodies. Okay. In order to get on that chariot and be, right there in the midst, in the spiritual realm, you can't be in this flesh. Okay. You have to be in a celestial body or terrestrial, one of the two, Salakia, if I'm saying it right, but you have to be in a different body, man. Okay, which that's what the Lord is going to do. He's going to change the elect, and that highway, that's what it's going to do for the elect, that way of deliverance by way of the chariots when Yahweh Shah comes back. Okay, and you're going to have Israelites southern kingdom, and you're going to have Israelites of northern kingdom of the elect getting beamed up. That's why it says the highway, that there be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria. Because you're going to have Israelites in this truth that's Judites, Benjamites, and Levites. And you're going to have Israelites in this truth that's Ephraimites, Gadites, Reubenites, and Asherites, So you're going to have both southern and northern kingdom making up the 144,000 of the elect, in which you had southern kingdom predominantly in the Egyptian captivity. Then you had northern kingdom predominantly in the Assyrian captivity, which is representing them both, man. That's why the Lord is calling the Israel. That's why he's calling Israel Egyptians and Assyrians, because he's naming us after the captivities that the tribes underwent. And not only that, but this place, America, okay, is the captivity of both southern and northern kingdom. So this place, America, will be known spiritually as Assyria and spiritually Egypt. It says, and the Egyptian unto the Assyria, into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. Okay, grab a quick precept. And this is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 24. Thus saith, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, O my people that dwellest in Zion. So Zion would consider what? The Israelites. Okay. Be not afraid of the Assyrian. He shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee, after the manner of Egypt. Now that's speaking about the modern captivity that we're in now. The Lord is referring to Esau, Edom, as the Assyrian. He's referring to America as the Egyptian, as Egypt, right? Because Esau, he's ruling, and he's oppressing us in the manner that we were oppressed in the Egyptian captivity. Okay? It said, be not afraid of the Assyrian, he shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee, after the manner of Egypt. Meaning he gonna come down on the Israelites, just like the Assyrian came down on northern kingdom, just like Egypt came down on southern kingdom, man. That's how Esau gonna come down on both tribes, especially when he come down with that great wrath. You know, the Lord's gonna turn this devil up for the chastisement of the nation of Israel. It said, verse 25. Verse 25. It says, for yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease. Oh, Salakia. Wait. Verse 25, Salakia. Isaiah 10:25. For yet a little while, Salakia. For yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease, and my anger and their destruction. So, yeah, man. So we gotta bear the things that's about to come down the pipe. All right, for a little while, though this little, it is the Lord. Paul called this what's that? 2 Corinthians 4:16. Try to quote it. I don't want to butcher it. Second, 2 Corinthians 4:16 or 17, for our light affliction, right? Going through that light affliction. All right, because it's only for a little while. Said the indignation shall cease, because we got to bear the Lord's indignation too, right? According to what Micah say, Micah 7:9, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. Okay. So it says, for yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease, and my anger in their destruction. Because the Lord is going to use the heathen, all right, to chastise the nation of Israel, to show his anger, to show his indignation. And then what he's going to do is he's going to judge the heathen. Okay? So, that's pointing at Isaiah, going back to Isaiah 19, finishing up. Verse 24, in that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria. It says, even a blessing in the midst of the land. Okay, it says, in that day shall Israel, it says, in that day shall Israel be the third with Egypt and with Assyria. Right? And that's speaking about what? That third is the great multitude of Israel, according to Revelation 7 and 9. Okay, Ezekiel 36, 19 through 20. I believe we grabbed that too. You know, Isaiah 4 and 1, we grabbed that. You know, the Jakes that scattered is going to, the Israelites that scattered are going to join the elect in the deliverance. The Israelites that scattered, that's actually going to believe on Yahushua and believe on this song being sung, they're going to be delivered. All right, and caught up with the elect, the 144,000. Verse 25, it says, verse 25, whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. Right, and once again, Egypt and Assyria is a representation of the elect of both southern and northern kingdom. Southern kingdom was in the predominantly in Egypt, and then you had northern kingdom in Assyria, serving their captivity. All right, so that's what this is speaking about. It's not speaking about the Lord saving Egyptians and saving Assyrians and physical Assyrians and physical Egyptian heathens being his people. That's not what it's talking about. Okay, we read through it, broke the scriptures down, grabbed the precepts. You know, this chapter also goes into America being spiritually Egypt and the state of America during the time of the end. All right, during the time of those last days. Once again, all throughout the scriptures, it compares America to different wicked kingdoms that once ruled over the earth, like Nineveh, like Assyria. Once again, so let me grab this real quick. This is Nahum. Nahum chapter 3. Okay, damn, Salaki. Nahum chapter 3, and I'm gonna try to get the point. I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well. Matter of fact, I'll start at the top. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. Now, in my sword, in my Bible, the subtitle, the headline, it says Nineveh is laid waste. Okay, so the Lord, in this chapter, we know that the Lord is speaking about the conditions of America, all right, and the judgment that it will face. But the Lord is referring to America as Nineveh in this chapter, which Nineveh was a city in Assyria. So once again, reading, this is, woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Who is the prey? Israel. Israel is the prey. We depart not, because the Lord hardened the heart of Esau, just like he hardened Pharaoh. And the only one who will be able to deliver us and buy us and redeem us out this captivity will be Yahushua, to glorify the name of Yahweh. All right. So it says, the noise of a whip, and this America is that bloody city. According to Revelation, right, it said that the blood of men was found in her. Okay. The blood of the prophets being slain, the blood of innocent lives of Israelites being slain. Not innocent, I wouldn't say innocent. Scripture say, who perished being innocent, but keep reading verse 2. The noise of a whip, and the noise of a rattling of the wheels, and the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. Right? So this is the noise of what? This is the noise of war, man. Okay? With the noise of a whip and the noise of rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and the jumping chariots, meaning prepare for war. Okay, in verse 3 it says, the horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And in this modern day time, that glittering spear and that bright sword is those nuclear missiles, because that's the war that's going to be fought in America. It's a nuclear war, World War III. All right. It says that the horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none in of their corpse. They stumble upon their corpse. And eventually this war is going to lead to different nations being destroyed and subdued, especially when Yahushua come back. You read Ezekiel, the 32nd chapter, it talks about the different nations that go down to the pit, okay, and how they all be slain. Matter of fact, let me grab something real quick. Let me grab that. Ezekiel 32. Ezekiel chapter 32. Just to grab the point. Oh, this is another chapter that speaks about this is another chapter that goes into America being likened unto Egypt, which you got to be careful in this chapter, all right, because in Ezekiel 32 you got some verses it's actually talking about ancient Egypt, okay, and then you got majority of verses that's actually speaking about, you know, America. It jumps around a lot in this chapter, but let me see where I could. I'm gonna jump around in this chapter. This Ezekiel 32, verse 11. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the sword of the king of Babylon shall come upon thee. By the swords of the mighty will I cause thy multitude to fall, the terrible of the nations, all of them, and they shall spoil the pomp of Egypt, and all the multitude thereof shall be destroyed. Okay, it says shall spoil the pomp of Egypt. That lines up with Isaiah 14 and 11. Okay, it also lines up with Isaiah 13, or Salakia. Is that Isaiah 14 and 11? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 11. Yep, it says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worm covered thee. And that's representation, okay, of how America is going to fall at the hands of these other nations, all right, by way of nuclear war. This land is going to be laid waste, okay. This just like worms that cover, how it decays. This land is going to decay, man. Okay, it's going to be brought down low. The pride of this place, because when you read above, it talks about verse 9. I'll start at verse 9. Isaiah 14 and 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Hell is a condition, okay, and hell is the condition that's going to come upon Esau, okay, and the estate of America and the inhabitants thereof, right? It says, it cometh, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. So all the chief rulers of this earth, okay, which Esau, Edom being the number one, numero uno, chief ruler of the earth, according to Job 9 and 24. So guess what? Hell is about to meet you. It said destruction and death is about to meet you. It said it hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So eventually, guess what? The grave is gonna hell is also, the grave is also known, hell is also referred to as the grave. So all these different chief kings of the earth, kings of these nations, your Kim Jong-uns, your Vladimir Putins, right on down from the elites who you don't see, the ones that you don't see or hear nothing about, they're going to be laid down to the grave, right? They're going to be brought to the grave, man, by these different nations by way of war. World War III, it says, verse 10, all they shall speak and say unto thee, thou art also become weak as we, art thou become like unto us? So they're going to be what? They're going to be an abased nation again. Esau, Edom is going to be despised among the heathen. They're going to look at Esau. He's going to be the weakest, the lowliest among the heathen. Once again, that's how low the Lord is going to bring Esau, man. Starting with the destruction of this land. Via World War III, man. So going back in Ezekiel 32, verse 12, by the swords of the mighty will I cause thy multitude to fall. What's the modern day sword, man? In this war, what's the swords that's going to be used in this war that's going to be fought? Missiles. It says the terrible of the nations. So the Lord going to use the worst of the nations. He going to use the Iranians. He going to use the Russians against you. He going to use North Korea against you. He going to use Moab against you. He going to use all these nations, right, against you. It says all of them, and they shall spoil the pomp of Egypt. Now, is that actually talking about the land of Egypt? No. Is that talking about ancient Egypt? No. Okay, it can't be talking about ancient Egypt because Ezekiel was on the scene way after the ancient Egyptian captivity. Okay, so it's speaking about America, which is also known as spiritual Egypt. And all the multitude thereof shall be destroyed. I will destroy also all the beasts thereof from beside the great waters. Neither shall the foot of men trouble them any more, nor the hooves of beasts trouble them. Meaning what? The Lord will actually lay that land desolate, where nothing would nothing will grow there again, man. Nothing will heal that land and make that land a civilization to be inhabitable. It says, verse 14, then will I make their waters deep and cause their rivers to run like oil, saith the Lord Yahweh, and I will make the land of Egypt desolate, and the country shall be destitute of that whereof it was full. See, and you read in Revelation 18 and talk about all of the things America was full with. The scarlet robes and cloths and the gold and the silver, right? All the things that they traded with and got rich with the merchants in the different nations. Okay, so it said the Lord is going to lay this place desolate of all the things wherein it was full of, where I shall smite all them that dwell therein. Then shall they know that I am the Lord. See, then the Lord's name is going to be magnified and praised on the high level again, once Yahweh brings this judgment to pass on America. Now I'm gonna jump, still in this same chapter, Ezekiel 32 verse. Now I'm gonna jump to verse 28. It says, yea, thou shalt be broken in the midst of the uncircumcised, meaning the heathen. Now when it says uncircumcised here, it's speaking about the actual heathen. Okay, it says, and shall lie with them that are slain with the sword. Meaning what? They're going to die with those, okay, that be slain with those missiles. Verse 29, there is Edom, right? Her kings and all her princes. So you're going to have America's military, America's war, and their general and their host and their armies. It says, which with their might are laid by them that are slain with the sword. So guess what? They're going to be slain. They're going to be in the grave dead, right along with the rest of the heathens, okay, that died by way of missile. It says, they shall lie with the uncircumcised and with them that go down to the pit. There be the princes of the north, all of them, and all the Sidonians, which are going down to the slain with their terror. They are ashamed of their might. They lie uncircumcised with them that are slain by the sword, and bear their shame with them that go down to the pit. It says, Pharaoh shall see them. Oh, so Pharaoh shall see them and shall be comforted over all his multitude. Even Pharaoh and all his army slain by the sword, saith the Lord Yahweh. And the modern day Pharaoh is Esau, man. Okay, which is also the modern day king of Babylon. Verse 32, for I have caused my terror in the land of the living, and he shall be laid in the midst of the uncircumcised with them that are slain with the sword, even Pharaoh and all his multitude, saith the Lord Yahweh. okay, which lines up with Joel, the 2nd chapter, 2 and 20, man. So this is the estate of Amerikkà, man. All right, being talked about as Egypt in the scriptures. Now I'm gonna go back in Nahum, finish up Nahum, and I'm gonna close out. My phone about to die. All right, try to hurry up before the phone die. Back in Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4, it says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Once again, this should remind you of Revelation 18, okay? When it speaks about how these other nations laid in bed and got drunk off the drink of Babylon, man. This is Revelation 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. So that's how it says, in the hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That didn't happen to ancient Babylon. That didn't happen to the land of Babylon, right? The land of Babylon didn't become a habitation of foul creatures and foul spirits and devils, right? And unclean and hateful birds. No. So that's speaking about a land that's speaking about a judgment that will happen to America, man. Verse 3, it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the fornication of her, Salakia. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Meaning all nations, all other heathens made a league with this devil. Okay? They made a league with this devil, and within making a league with Esau, they adapted his ways. They adapted the way of democracy. They adopted the way of, Esau and his gods, Esau and his, his idols, his holidays and things of that nature. They adopted the mindset of this devil, right? They adopted everything that Esau promotes. These other nations did, man. Okay, from the democracy, from the Moism, okay, from everything, from trading, buying, and selling. It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, so that's how, that's how she selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Now I'm going to jump Revelation 18, and I'm going to jump to verse 9. It says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Right? Because the destruction of America is going to be publicized. Okay? It's going to be publicized, and everyone will see this place going down. Whether it's televised, whether it's radioed in, whatever, is going to be known to the world that this place is being destroyed, okay, by Yahweh Hashem Yahshua and by thermonuclear missiles. And it says that those that, verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, the great city, Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right, and Babylon wasn't destroyed in 1 hour. Babylon, the land of Babylon wasn't utterly laid desolate. So it's speaking about America, man. Verse 11, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Okay, because this place is going to be utterly laid desolate. Nahum chapter 3, verse 4, because of the multitude of her whoredoms, of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, because this place is nothing but left-hand deity. That's all this place pushes is portals, spells, seances, okay, and anything dealing with left-hand energy and summoning left-hand spirits. It says, that's what all this technology and shit is for. You look around, everything has a spell on it. You look at your TV, everything technology deals with witchcraft from this devil, man. It says, verse 5, behold, I am against thee. Here it is. They trying to put a CHIP in you, right? And make it mandatory and make that the new way of life. Make that the new way of currency, right? Make that your new form of identification. And if you don't have that, you will be ostracized from society. That's the ultimate form of witchcraft. Esau, he deceived the whole nations. He deceived the nations. White supremacy, he X'd out our Lord. All of these things involve his witchcraft, man. Verse 5, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And the Lord is doing that by way of the prophets exposing this devil. By the song being sung, it's exposing this devil, and it's exposing every other nation of who they really are. Once we come back to our heritage, now we're going to show every other nation what your biblical heritage is, man. So it exposes this devil for who he really is, because he's a culture vulture, man. He's a damn fugitive on the run. It says, verse 6, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Okay, because once this land is laid desolate, the judgment of this place is going to lay this land so desolate that it's going to be a gazing stock. Okay, it's going to be marvelous, man. It says, verse 7, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. See, all of these precepts we brought out, how I link up with Amerikkha and the destruction thereof. But here it is, yet the scriptures is referring to it as Nineveh. Meaning what? This place is spiritually Nineveh. It can't be speaking about the actual land of Nineveh, because none of these things in this chapter took place to that land. It says, who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Right, the scriptures say, take balm for Babylon, and heal her if she may be healed. Which, once again, the Lord is mocking this place, because this place will not receive any more treatment, no more heal, no more balm. This place will not be revived like Rome was revived. All right, and that's pretty much it. You know, that's all I pretty much have for, you know, the lesson. Lord was edifying, giving our glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Hey, man, once again, this place is spiritual Babylon, this place is spiritual Egypt, and this place is spiritual Assyria, man. All right. Shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasharala. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Rule well within this ministry. Shalom.